And TMZ reports you're on the LAPD's radar in connection to the Young Dolph shooting.
Being home never had one argument.
Being home, no arguments, no tension. Sounds picture perfect on camera, right? But anybody who knows real street politics understands it's never that clean. Things don't just happen out of nowhere. According to a major witness, this whole situation ran way deeper than folks realized. Word in the streets is the drama allegedly started inside his own circle. Now the cops are finally piecing things together. And in this video, I'm breaking down Yo Gotti.
It's Ebro in the morning, Laura Styles and Rosenberg, and Young Dolph is in the building. Listen, Young Dolph, here's the thing. We clap for people, but your friends didn't clap.
His reaction to his sentence. The beef that turned Memphis into a war zone. Memphis, Tennessee, same city that gave us legends like 3-6 Mafia and blessed the world with that raw southern trap sound, was about to see one of the most explosive rivalries hip-hop had ever witnessed. Two real ones, Yo Gotti and Young Dolph, stood at the center of it all. But this wasn't your average rap beef. It was pride, street politics, and deep loyalty battles that would leave scars across the city. If you really want to understand how things went down on that tragic November day in 2021, you gotta rewind the tape back to where the fire first sparked. Let's take it back to 2014. Young Dolph, real name Adolph Robert Thornton Jr., was grinding hard, pushing his music independently, and building his name with no handouts. He made a choice to bet on himself and build his own movement, Paper Route Empire. That decision right there lit the fuse for one of hip-hop's most dangerous rivalries ever. Yo Gotti, already a heavyweight in the Memphis scene, noticed Dolph's momentum and tried to bring him into his label, CMG. For most rappers, that kind of offer from a local legend would have been a golden ticket out the hood, a fast pass to fame. But Dolph? Nah, he wasn't built to follow. He had his own lane, his own vision, and wasn't about to compromise that for anybody, no matter how big the name. When Dolph turned down CMG, telling Gotti he was good on his own bag, something shifted in the streets. Interviews and statements later revealed that rejection didn't sit right with certain people in Gotti's camp. What started as a business decision turned into some real street tension that spiraled fast. By February 2016, the pressure was thick. Memphis could feel it. Dolph dropped his debut album titled King of Memphis, a bold move and a direct shot at Gotti, who had long called himself the city's rap king. That album hit number 49 on the Billboard 200, proving Dolph didn't need CMG to make noise. He was doing it solo, and that made the streets watch even closer. But from Dolph's point of view, this wasn't just about competition. In an interview that later became crucial, he explained exactly why he said, "Hell nah," to ever joining up with Gotti. Dolph claimed he saw some shady moves, Gotti allegedly throwing his own artists under the bus, talking down on Zilla and Alito like they were nothing. Dolph took that as a clear warning sign. He realized loyalty inside that camp might not be what it looked like. From 2016 through 2017, this beef went from subliminal bars to all-out chaos. Black Youngsta, one of CMG's most feared artists, started firing shots, literally and musically. Diss tracks, music videos, and footage showing his crew deep in Dolph's South Memphis hood, strapped up and ready. The message was loud and clear. This wasn't just rap anymore. This was personal. Then came February 2017 when Young Dolph dropped Play With Yo BK, a savage diss track that called out Yo Gotti by name. It wasn't just disrespectful, it was a straight-up declaration of war. Yo Gotti answered back with Don't Beef With Me, featuring Black Youngsta, but at that point, the energy had already shifted. Words turned into real danger, street danger. February 25th, 2017, Charlotte, North Carolina CIAA weekend. That's when things exploded. Young Dolph's SUV got hit with over 100 rounds. Yeah, 100. It was one of the boldest shootings the industry had ever seen. But here's the wild part, Dolph survived. Thanks to the bulletproof panels in his truck, he walked away alive. The message, though, was loud, chilling, and deadly serious. Young Dolph lost his life right there at the scene, gone at just 36 years old. The moment the news hit, it tore through Memphis and the entire hip-hop world like a shockwave. Artists, fans, and fellow rappers jumped online, flooding social media with heartbreak, disbelief, and pain. Makita's Cookies, the same local bakery where Dolph stopped to show love, became an instant memorial. Flowers, candles, posters, and messages started stacking up outside. turning that little shop into a shrine for a fallen legend. But as love poured in, the heartbreak was too heavy to carry on. The bakery eventually shut its doors for good. Nobody could stomach working in the same place where something so tragic went down. Meanwhile, the streets were buzzing with one question: who did it? And even more haunting, why? Police moved fast. They pulled cell phone records, surveillance footage, and witness statements together to piece the puzzle. It didn't take long before names started popping up. Justin Johnson, also known by his rap name Straight Drop, and Cornelius Smith were identified as the shooters. The white Mercedes used in the hit, it got traced back to a location tied to Hernandez Govan, the man investigators claim was the one who put the whole plan in motion. By January 2022, Johnson, Smith, and Govan were all locked up. But as the investigation went deeper, darker truths started surfacing. Stuff that sounded like it came straight from a movie. Cops uncovered evidence pointing to planning, money motives, and straight-up betrayal. But the wildest twist? That didn't drop until the trial kicked off in September 2024. Prosecutors came with a bombshell. Anthony, Big Jook Mims, Yo Gotti's real brother and a heavy hitter in CMG, was accused of putting a $100,000 bounty on Dolph's head. According to Cornelius Smith's testimony, the shooters were promised $40,000 each, with Govan allegedly set to collect $10,000 for setting everything up. Prosecutors said the motive was tied straight back to the never-ending beef between CMG and Paper Route Empire. They even alleged Big Jook offered the hit as part of a plan to secure Justin Johnson a signing deal under CMG. If this turned out to be true, it meant Young Dolph's murder was the final tragic result of a feud that started a whole decade earlier over a single rejected record deal. Smith's testimony painted a chilling picture. He claimed they had been tracking Dolph for weeks, studying his routes, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. When they saw him pull up at Makita's Cookies that afternoon, they saw their chance, and they took it. By September 2024, the verdict came in. Justin Johnson was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. The courtroom was silent as prosecutors laid out every detail. The planning, the calls, the moves. Cell phone records put Johnson right near the bakery before and after the hit. Surveillance video from his apartment complex showed him wearing clothes nearly identical to what the shooter had on. The evidence was too strong to deny. Cornelius Smith, on the other hand, took a plea deal, hoping to catch some mercy by testifying. His words gave the clearest look yet at how the hit went down and who was allegedly behind it. But here's the craziest part. Smith revealed he only ever got $800 out of that promised $40,000 before getting caught. That's it, $800 for a murder that broke hearts, crushed a family, and shook the entire hip-hop world to its core. Through all the memorials, the tears, and the heartbreak, one voice has stayed completely silent. Yo Gotti's. No tribute to another Memphis legend who helped put the city on the map. No condolences to the family. No public statement addressing the wild accusations tied to his own brother. Nothing but silence, and that silence has been screaming louder than words ever could. People in the streets can't help but wonder, what does that silence mean? Guilt, complicity, or just trying to stay out the line of fire? Either way, it's got everyone talking. The legal side of this story is still unfolding, but there are so many unanswered questions. Hernandez Govan walked free after being acquitted, meaning legally, there's nobody left to take the fall for planning the hit, besides the two triggermen. Big Jook, gone, Justin Johnson doing life with no chance of parole. Cornelius Smith, serving time for his part. But those bigger questions, the ones about who really pulled the strings, who knew what, and how deep this whole conspiracy ran, those might never be answered in court. What is certain is heartbreaking. A beef that started over a rejected record deal back in 2014 ended with Young Dolph losing his life in 2021. Pride, competition, and the hunger to be crowned king of Memphis led straight to tragedy. A father of two shot down in cold blood at a cookie shop he went to support. 36 years old, gone in an instant. No chart position, no plaques, no street crown was worth that loss. Memphis lost a real one. Even Yo Gotti once said in an old Breakfast Club interview that Dolph was a solid dude. The hip-hop world lost a rare kind of artist, one who proved you could build an empire on your own terms, no label chains, no fake loyalty. 2 kids lost their father, a fiance lost her partner, and an entire community lost someone who never forgot where he came from, no matter how big he got. Meanwhile, Yo Gotti keeps moving like business as usual, dropping music, running CMG, building his legacy, but that legacy will forever be tied to Young Dolph's death, whether he likes it or not. His silence has become its own message, and it's one that Memphis and the hip-hop world haven't forgotten and probably never will. Because this war, it didn't end with peace or mutual respect. It ended with bullets in a bakery and 2 Memphis sons gone forever. Dolph to murder, Big Jook to what looks like street retaliation. Families shattered, futures erased, and a city still carrying the weight of it all. The real tragedy isn't just what happened. It's what could have happened if the beef had been squashed instead. Imagine the music, the unity, the power that collab could have brought to the city. That's the heartbreak behind the headlines. And that's what makes Yo Gotti's silence so heavy. It's not just quiet, it's haunting. By refusing to speak, by never acknowledging the pain or his brother's alleged role, he's letting that silence speak for him. And what it says, it's loud, cold, and clear. The streets hear it, and they won't forget it. So if you've been following this story and want more deep dives like this, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss another breakdown. There's more truth to uncover, and we're just getting started.